I've been recently appreciating all of the excellent street video in the social sphere. Video created by some very talented creators. I'll mention a couple later. And if you guys saw my last video, you know that I've been shooting a bit of street video lately. I've been meaning to for a while, start to play around specifically in the street video niche. And I just wanted to present a couple of observations that I've made about street video from my experience in the hopes of being helpful. By the way, my necessitated set today is hilarious. With videos, all the same principles apply as photography: subject, lighting, composition. And for these standalone types of videos that I've been doing, I've been composing them to be as visually pleasing as a photo would be, because they're standing alone and they need to be visually pleasing. Whereas if you're stringing a bunch of clips together, you can have shots that aren't as compositionally impressive within. If you think of a good documentary, not every shot is equally visually stunning, right? But yeah, composition is very important. Now, a dimension that is added to video, which is a huge differentiator, is motion. Now, here's a clip that I grabbed in my last photo walk video. Here I was able to capture the people moving through the shot, and I ended up with this interesting effect where the foreground is more or less static, a little bit of handheld motion, which I enjoy, but then in the background, you have the people moving through. Another thing that helps this video feel engaging is the cinematic quality that it has. And that has a lot to do with the focal length I was using, or I should say the lens that I was using. I used a 70 to 200 millimeter f4. Here's a video I made about said lens in the past. Now, you can definitely make compelling videos on the street with shorter focal lengths, but this is a great way to add some serious charm. And you can see the effect that the compression has on this shot here, where everything feels like it's closely stacked and layered on top of each other. Here's another one that I captured that day that I absolutely love, and I think it's a great example of how motion can be introduced to create a pleasing effect, but also to capture a story in a scene. And the vertical format is a fun challenge for video, especially for somebody like me who has spent years shooting landscape, and particularly 16:9. One of the things I'm trying to do is find scenes that work well in a 9:16 format, which is a little bit of a different ball game, and this one it works extremely well. Now, something that is very important to practice if you are a photographer that is used to taking photos that don't move is to develop your ability to shoot handheld steadily. With this type of video, a strong ability to hold a camera steady for an extended period of time is important. Now, another option is that you can use a tripod, of course, but that's something to be thinking about. I, for one, enjoy the quality that a slight handheld shake introduces to a video. I've always enjoyed that. And so I lean into that. And I also don't enjoy so much fumbling around with tripods, although I recognize the value that they bring. And of course, there's the music. Okay, now I wanted to talk about a couple of creators that I've come across that do street video exceptionally well. They're very talented. And one example of that is Dan Aragon, which is a really exciting name. I think you should, my dog. I think you should legally change your name to Dan Aragorn, though. That should be next on your to-do list. Here's a really cool example of introduced motion. We have a very nice symmetrical shot and people sitting. We have a story being told, and this is shot on iPhone, by the way, which is fun. Beautiful tones, but you can see one thing that I was mentioning, which is the ability to hold the camera steady. That's useful here. But you can see there's a little bit of shake, and that adds a nice quality to things. And of course, the shake of the train itself does that. But here we have an example of the strength of video, because we have light coming down the cabin as the train moves, and it creates a really fun effect. This is a carousel by Dan, and this is a good example of how you can still use 16:9 in the social world, believe it or not. And beautifully framed shots, beautiful tones, water, lovely cityscapes, and it seems like there's a tripod in use here. So we sort of have a photo with motion type of dynamic, and just that little bit of motion can add to things. This is where the tripod is very useful to accentuate that effect, because it looks like we're looking at a still photo, but the world is moving. Clever! Oh, my leg is numb. Oh, I may need to go to the hospital. One more by Dan. This is part of a carousel too, but I'm just going to show you the first one here. A bit of a maybe a 4:5 ratio, I'm guessing. We have a beautiful composition. We have incredible colors. Looks like something out of the 80s, honestly. And we have this wonderful effect of traffic moving. Good stuff. Oh, wait. Oh, we have a secondary shot here. Look at that. Okay, so see, this shot is a good secondary shot. It's not as compositionally, and substantively brilliant as the previous one, but it fits nicely in the carousel. Ooh, close up. All right, now we're looking down a street. Oh, okay. Wow. Beautiful. I love that we can use a carousel, right? Because you can have a short film occur with shots that the person can watch over and over, and then they can move to the next one, the next one, the next. That's so fun. That's so interesting. Another creator I've been following is called NY Vignettes, and they, whoever they are, has been absolutely prolific at the street video game. One of the things you'll see is these nice New York ferry montages. And in this case, it's at night, it's black and white, such a vibe. We have shots strung together, beautiful compositions. Another thing you can get is a parallax effect, right? If you're moving, and the ferry really comes in handy for this because we get this nice smooth motion and a parallax effect. That's something you don't get with a still shot. Here's another one, this time color, and you can see here long focal length, right? Cinematic feel, and it's capturing the haze moving around in the street. And so that's another way to create a cinematic, pleasing dynamic. And they're shooting into the light. And so we get a lot of, silhouettes. It makes for this really cool effect, really cool vibe. And you feel in a different way that you are present there. You get to see what the city streets feel like in a way that's not frozen in time. And of course, there's the music. Photos are really just so lame and old school at this point, Street photography is dead. But just like anything you do with a camera, practice and the ability to create pleasing compositions with strong subjects, strong hierarchy, compelling light, so on and so forth. All of that stuff is ever important. So anyway, I love the potential of short form video stories on the street. I'm excited to see the different takes that people continue to have on it and how it continues to evolve. I think it's a powerful medium. And I also think it's a bit of an antidote to the high speed, snappy, in your face type of content that we're so used to. Stuff like this is often much more relaxing. It's more in the vein of just enjoying a beautiful photo. Yes, you get the dopamine hit, but my sense is this is not going to create the same type of, anxious doom scrolling that we see today. It's a more peaceful side of the internet, and there's something that's so creatively inspiring about it. You can have these individual shots that may be vertical, maybe not, or you can string them together into little stories, or you can even end up with those videos that are like 2 hours of street photography in Japan. And all of a sudden we're making long form short films and feature length films again. It's a big circle, really. Although who knows, our attention spans might get so short that we can only tolerate 3 seconds of video at any given time, which that would be terrible. Maybe let's all just read a book. Anyway, that's that. I hope it changed your life forever. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. I love you. Goodbye.